Something that a lot of climbers experience is the dreaded plateaus. Hi, I'm George. I'm the head setter for the Climbing Angle Matchworks.
Hi, I'm Tong. I'm from the Hanner and one of the coaches.
Tong, as a coach, where do you see most people find these plateaus in their progression in climbing?
I think it's when people try to leap from a grade that they are comfortable with and to a grade that they feel like scared. So it can be anything from blue or purple or red. Oh, that one.
Are we talking about me climbing these?
Yeah, because we said one of the tips was try climbs that are hard for you.
Yeah.
Reds are hard for me.
Well, we'll try some reds as well then. So we're talking steep, complex, and some of the moves are quite big as well on this. So there's your
really like
risk as well.
Really good, like a wingspan.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh.
Nice. Go for it.
Yeah, good effort.
I get what you mean, it's hard to work out.
It's complex, right?
Yeah.
What is it, do you think, that makes those plateaus a thing? Why is it that people then struggle to go from one grade boundary to the next?
Well, I think you as a route setter probably have so much to say about it because it's about the differences between how you set the routes, right? From my perspective, I can see a lot of like different type of holes. From the beginning, you as a climber encounter a lot of jogs and you can do a lot of easy pulls. You don't really need to pay attention to your finger position. As you progress, you will see a lot of like unusual, unfamiliar hold types like crimps, slopers, the footholds. In the beginning, there are a lot of them. They're quite big, very obvious. You don't really need to think about it. But as you progress, they become like non-existing, in my opinion. And it gets hard for people because you do have to pay attention to how you place your feet and how you do your movements or how you use the wall sometimes when you don't even have a foothold.
Oh my god, those holds are horrible.
So in route setting, we have this scale that we use to break down every single boulder problem. It's called the RIC scale, and RIC stands for risk, intensity, and complexity. To start off with, risk can be a lot of things. It can be, for example, like jumping between holds. If a move is risky because it's very dynamic and it's what we'd call like a low percentage move, that's where risk comes in. Or it could be that the holds are slopey, therefore it's more likely to fall off, or the footholds are worse, you're more likely to slip off. You can also increase risk with things like slotting holds. You know, like if you have two holds that are close together, you have to be really accurate. Immediately, that's like risk increased. The next one is intensity, that's the I. So how physically intense is it to climb that climb? Between the different grade boundaries, you'll notice often the angles of the wall get steeper, which immediately makes a climb more intense, right? You have to physically try harder to get up the boulder. The C is complexity. How easy is it to read the sequence on a climb? As you said, like when you start off with, generally the sequence is very, very basic. Like you're talking left, right, left, right, left, right. As you progress, the sequences get more complex, the holds get more complex, and you might have to hold them in different ways. Is the body position really specific for you to be able to reach that next hold, or can you just kind of pull through? Both of those would be like ways of affecting the complexity of a climb too. And those are the three things that no matter what grade boulder you're on, that's what makes that boulder the difficulty it is. Those three things are how we as route setters would approach what makes it as difficult as it is. So I guess that's one of the points that we were talking about before in complexity of the holds.
Yeah.
As you progress through your grades, the holds can get more complex. That hold isn't uniform across its entire edge. It's all pretty good, but the bit where you're grabbing is like probably the slopiest bit.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like the juggiest part of that hold. Whereas if you go like directly over the bolt hole in the middle, it's like a little bit in cut.
Yeah.
So it's way more easy to kind of like dead point to and latch and hold the tension straight away. Whereas if you hit that slopey bit, you're gonna have to hit it and then probably readjust to the better bit.
Yeah.
But now that we know you've got the height, you've done the distance, like you just need to work on the accuracy.
Or give it a brush.
And give it a brush.
And give it brush, yeah. I think in order to push yourself into a harder grade, you need to identify what you are good at the moment and what you aren't, weakness and strength. To do so, you can try to film yourself because sometimes people aren't so aware what they're doing on the wall. So it's a good idea to just film yourself or ask your friend to check out what you're doing and just think about, am I doing a lot on the crimps? Am I feeling, more comfortable on the slabby, like a wall angle? Am I avoiding overhands? Once you find out, work on your weaknesses. When it comes to working on weaknesses, it's really useful to find a coach at this stage. And at Hannah, we do have very affordable, like one-to-one coaching plans. Ooh.
Oh yeah, so I'm like,
If we can go
too low on it. Like I'm getting as far as it.
get a training plan that actually help you to improve your technique and your strength. That can be a really good approach. If you already have some ideas about how to do training plans yourself, it's also a good idea just to talk to your coach and then get your training plan refined. It's a good idea to climb with someone who is better. Basically climb with a better climber, and so they can give you inputs about how to solve the problem, how they deal with a harder grade that you might not feel comfortable with.
You look to, for the big move, you look to put your foot on the wall.
Yeah.
To use your like an active foot, right? To give you that little bit of extra push.
It's not just about the physical performance, how they climb better on a certain route. It's about how they approach it, how they rate the route, how they do certain moves that you can't do. Making this kind of collections with people and learn from them.
I think it's only going to help push you in the right direction. Otherwise, all that leg's doing is just kind of balancing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of flagging underneath you. Yeah, exactly. Whereas it could be giving you that extra reach.
I think it's also a really good idea to get exposed to harder grades. Like if you are comfortable with purples now and you feel like reds aren't really comfortable for you, but I would encourage you to just try those reds. Try some overhand routes, and just this kind of exposure to harder movements help you to improve and help you to learn. That will be another good thing to try when it comes to breaking your plateau.
Nice, that was
Nice.
close. Really good. So I think we got 3 major tips then. The first one is climb with people who are better than you.
Yeah.
That's a key one. I think that when I first started climbing, I always tried to climb with people better than me because you learn more by seeing people do stuff, right? So that was the big one. Second one, try hard climbs that are hard for you, that maybe aren't necessarily your strengths, although also do try hard things that are in your strength as well, because you'll progress in those too.
Yeah.
And then the third one, if in doubt, get yourself a coach, because they're the ones that are going to be able to tell you what it is your weaknesses are, how you can find those gains to be able to progress through the grade board.
Yeah, exactly. Great summary. I think, if anything, when it comes to pushing yourself hard, sometimes you're on low motivation. That's also fine. I think it's quite important to just always remember, for a lot of climbers in our community, you are not here to be a professional athlete or anything. So it's really important to just remember to have fun, and that's how you keep your motivation or embrace your low motivation days. Try to have the most fun with your friends and enjoying the journey by trying hard, but not pushing yourself to the extreme. Yeah.
I think that's really good advice.